pageantry, the hype, all of that is more intense than anyone could ever imagine. What you're trying to do is embrace it in one way and make sure it doesn't totally knock you off your game. That's why the night before the big one, teams often switch hotels, try and give those guys that last chance to breathe a little bit before they go out and play.
Let's go. Hey, wait. Ready. Back 25. Let's go. Ready, set up.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Past the 20. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. Touchdown, Falcons! With a first touchdown of this Super Bowl and a long one at that. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now a handoff looking right. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. Desmond Trufant there making the tackle.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Four down, check. Here goes the hot. Right 20. Stand down.
They fake the handoff. Now Keenum. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber.
And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Shaquille Barrett coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Now Ryan. Forced out to, so no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. And Denver getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Keenum to throw on second down. This is Booker on the dump off. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be third down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Keenum. Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills?
Oh,
pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
To throw on second down is Keenum. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
And as a defender, if you go with 2 interceptions in a game, that's pretty rare in the NFL. You might see one guy a weekend do that, but to have 2 in the first quarter, that's something you don't see all that often. I have a feeling they'll think twice about throwing in his direction too often.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10, and he'll take this one down near the 15. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal. This defense porous so far in this first quarter. They face another 1st and goal. They'll look to run with Freeman. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
It's not a bad idea. Set up in the gun. Send a bunch of guys out wide and let the defense think you're going to try and put one in the end zone. But here, the draw play just gets bottled up from the start, and he'll wind up losing yardage.
Now Ryan on second down. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a short return to the 6-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On second down, here's Keenum. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. And able to get a little more breathing room out to the 5-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. From the gun, here's Keenum. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. but instead it just brings up fourth down. Here's Marquette King now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Rush comes and they block it. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points. I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown. Easy now. How about 6? Come up to 6. A lot of points. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound. I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think? What do you think? Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told them, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there. Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question. Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 35-yard line.
Tuesday. Go!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain down to about the 33. Marcus Davenport there to take him down. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down. Now Ryan. And it's complete. Hooper. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone? Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
22!
Looking to run it in, Kuhn. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. John Kuhn taking it in. And the Falcons will extend their lead. And that's why you have the fullback, Charles. Couldn't get it in the play before with the smaller guy. Turned to a little more power. They score it. And that has to warm the hearts of a lot of old-school football fans. They love when they get to see a little bit of power football. Ryan Saxter point up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 23. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. He got 29 yards that time. On 1st down, Keenum. Sanders has it over the middle. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a 1st down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throw left side complete. It's Jackson. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On third down, it's Grant. Now a loose football. The ball comes out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Hey, 52. Get hot. We're good. Check 31. Hot.
And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
A second down carry for Booker. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the first and goal.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Corey Grant taking it in from a yard out. And the Broncos cut into that lead. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit, because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back on Super Bowl Sunday after this. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Ryan to throw. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Trucks through him.
Oh, man, right through him.
And he powers his way up past the 30. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. He goes underneath to Freeman. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
On first down, Ryan. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Hey, South! Ready, go!
Now it's Ryan. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Ryan going to give to Freeman on the draw. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And Denver getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Roger.
Off the play fake, Keenum. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. And it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. After the interception, here's Ryan. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Gun.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. And some room to roam now. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And Bryant's kick is good. So we've come upon halftime here in Super Bowl 53 as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, now here's Bryant to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is
going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Here's Keenum now on 2nd down. Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Keenum. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Brian Poole that time there to get a hand on it.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Throwing is Keenum. And now another one thrown incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. On is the punter King to send it away. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
Defense,
we
got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
They run. Devontae Freeman. And Freeman lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
No, Roger. 52, Horn! Horn!
On 2nd down, here's Keenum. And that'll be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. Shotgun snap for Keenum. Over the middle, complete. It's Sanders. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration.
Let's go.
Keenum on 1st down. Complete outright to Jake Butt. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Very left.
Keenum to throw on second down. Wide open receiver complete. His second catch in the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
On first down, it's Keenum. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Jake Butt, 28 yards. And the Broncos get a bit closer. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
A gain of 3, second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Looking deep, and that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, 73 yards. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Keenum. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll make it a second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59.
Off play action. Keenum. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Here's Marquette King now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the fourth. The Falcons on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. To throw is Ryan. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Shaquille Barrett coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Very left, very left.
To throw on second down is Keenum. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that will bump the lead up to 26. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six, we'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Falcons grab it. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff fumble, now great field position. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On second down, Freeman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Shaquille Barrett in on the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the...
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Falcons continue to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And coming out now, the Broncos. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Right back to Booker. And he stopped immediately there. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On third down, Booker. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Booker on first down. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. On the handoff, this is Booker. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the 4th quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't they?
They'll hand off to Booker. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They're going to go. It's Booker. And this winds up a disaster. Nowhere near the marker. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. Freeman with a fast feet and able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape of this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. And it's over. The Lombardi Trophy belongs to the Falcons. Yes, the Atlanta Falcons are the Super Bowl champions. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all off